Beauty is in the eye of the beer holder, ladies and gentlemen. I am the mighty plantain, and why did I resurrect that tired old play on words? Well, because we have a beer that caught my eye, honestly, simply because as a beholder on the cover, or on the label, but more than that, a blind beholder, well, as blind as a beholder can get with his main eye poked out, called Blinky. Now, there's got to be a story there. I'm sure it involves some game of D&D. But it just says here, Blinky represents our love of all things hoppy, biotransformed at High Krausen with Amarillo, Galaxy, Citra, and Elba hops. This haze bomb will satisfy any craving for the New England IPA style. Drink fresh. Now, this is from Woodland Farms Brewery in Kittery, Maine. 8.1% alcohol by volume, and it looks like they use the same mobile cannery that a lot of local breweries are using here in Maine, which is good. Look, cans have gotten better. This mobile cannery operation, they go around to a bunch of local breweries, can up their beer in a day, and slap a label on it and send it out. What it's done is it's allowed a lot of local breweries to distribute further and wider than they would have otherwise. So I'm not a big fan of canned beer, but these cans are good. They're contoured correctly. A lot of the science that went into the Sam Adams can has gone into these, and they are also lined properly, so you don't get that metallic taste from the can in the beer. But I digress. Woodland Farms Brewery, Blinky, New England IPA, with that beholder with his main eye poked out. Hell of an image. It caught my eye, honestly, which is the number one reason I picked up the beer over at Meridian's in Fairfield, Maine, where they get a lot of beers that other places around here don't. And I picked it up because of the image, but then I read the label, and seeing a local New England IPA sold me on it. New England IPAs have been really getting popular lately, and holy shit, is that hazy. That looks like a fully pulped orange juice, but with a more golden color. Look at that. Hang on a second. Some kind of weird bug just landed here. I'm going to flick him off the table. Alright. Man, look at that. That is so hazy and cloudy. It almost looks solid, like a gelatin. There's no light getting through here, but not because the beer is dark. It's because of the particulates. Wow. Now, it's a New England IPA, 8.1% ABV. I'm guessing that because this haziness isn't resolving into chunks or flecks, I'm guessing that it's a result of hop oils, which happens when you dry hop beer. Yes, I've discovered this over the years. So I'm thinking this is maybe just loaded up with a bunch of dry hopping that has created this effect. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's just a ton of hops in there, and that's why it's so hazy. But I suspect dry hopping. Now, I smelled it as I poured it out. It smelled like grapefruit. Like somebody skinning a grapefruit. I'm definitely getting an overall citrusy aroma, but primarily grapefruit. Maybe just a hint of dirtiness under there. Earthiness, but let's call it dirty for now. Very interesting. Got a nice medium mouthfeel. It starts off with that grapefruit taste, but then it hits you with a punch of hoppiness. And I'm really thinking it was dry hopped because it is such a fresh hoppy bitterness. I'm getting grassy and earthy notes, hints of floral, a little bit of pine, mostly following up that big hint of citrus in the beginning. It is a ridiculously hoppy, high ABV New England IPA. Really impressing me. I'm not quite ready to push it up to a perfect 5 out of 5 because I'm not going wow, but I am incredibly impressed. I think I'm going to hit this with a 4.5 out of 5. It's great. It's a nice mouthful of hoppiness. It's a great design. I'd like to know the story behind the picture on the label, if there is one at all. Maybe they just picked it. Ooh, pardon. Hey, blind beholder. Let's do that. But something tells me there's more of a story behind that. But the beer itself, just a really well put together, hazy, juicy New England IPA. I mean, look at that thing. Nothing's settling. So whatever that is, that's all, and that's all hop oil in there, I'm thinking. Because there are no flecks, no flocks, like resolving out of that. It's just staying just as hazy as it was before. That's got to be hop oil from either dry hopping or some other process that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. But just a nice mouthful of hoppiness with a good solid backbone behind it. No grainy notes, no maltiness, just a nice medium mouth feel for that hoppiness to pin itself to. Anyway, 4.5 out of 5. I am rambling at this point. Hit me up down in the comments and the email link down below. If you've had this beer, I want to know what you have to say about it. While you're down there, don't forget to like and share the video. Make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, not only do you get a notification whenever I post a new video, but you also bump up my subscriber numbers. And we want to hit 1,000 soon here, so I can start making a few pennies off of each video again, like I was a few months ago. Anyway, until next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. There's a bug trapped under that can now. Cheers.